Welcome on into another episode of the Blue Chip Crypto 3. This is the Blue Chip Crypto 3.
Bitcoin hitting record highs amid hopes that a Trump administration will be friendly to cryptos. But other ways of getting into Bitcoin without necessarily buying the crypto itself. One proxy is Virginia-based Microstrategy, which has been betting big on Bitcoin. Yesterday, it announced it had acquired $2 billion US worth of the coin in the past 2 weeks. Let's talk MicroStrategy with Brett Knobloch. He's a research analyst at Cantor Fitzgerald. Thanks very much indeed for joining us. MicroStrategy, the stock has gone vertical, stratospheric. Just remind us why people see them as a play on Bitcoin.
Yeah, MicroStrategy is the largest corporate holder of Bitcoin in the world. They now have 207.
Now, that's crazy. But this is what I wanted to say about that, right? If MicroStrategy owns one of the largest groups or the largest amount in Bitcoin, right? And Trump the other day just announced that XRP, ADA, Algorand, and HBAR, those are considered blue chip crypto. So you might want to get your pen and paper, write it down, that financial advice. But if they are going to consider these companies tax-free companies, they give them tax deductibles and or tax incentives, right? Wouldn't MicroStrategy also be considered a tax-free hub? If so, I'll be putting my money with MicroStrategy on the stock market, because to me that makes sense. Not financial advice, but if you would like to bust this play, you may want to do it. But remember, you're doing it on your own. You're doing it on your own, basically. You didn't hear from us. You didn't hear from Blue Chip Crypto. You're doing it on your own. I think this is a great play because he put himself in a position where he will win. And if you can beat Uncle Sam, then you're the man. Let's go.
39,000 Bitcoin on their balance sheet. That's about 25 billion worth. We're in the view that it's going to become increasingly difficult for any one corporate or nation to accumulate a Bitcoin position of that size, and that itself makes it even more valuable having a Bitcoin position of right now $25 billion worth.
If we maybe you'll put up a 5-year chart, so it looks like a smart move by MicroStrategy to bet on Bitcoin. At this stage, it looks smart anyway.
Yeah, I started buying.
Oh, this is super smart. This is a spectacular move. This is a move that no one haven't seen. And remember, if he hold it until 2030, right, Bitcoin will be worth at least $1 million. You got to remember, think about scarcity, right? The less of something that you have of value is the more that it's worth. Bitcoin don't have an unlimited amount. I think people are forgetting that. Let me repeat. Bitcoin does not have an unlimited amount of supply. So once they run out, it runs out. My advice, which is not financial advice, is for you to at least get your hands on a couple of them. Even if you have to leverage. Look at what MicroStrategy did. He leveraged the U.S. bank, the U.S. dollars. They gave him millions and billions of dollars.
August 2020. Before that, they were, a business intelligence and analytics software provider. They were founded early 1990s. The business, I would say, in its heyday was a lot more sexy, the core software business, than it is today. But they really kind of shifted to go all in on Bitcoin. Michael Saylor, I think, is kind of the de facto Bitcoin spokesperson. He has frequently said, if you spend 100 hours understanding Bitcoin, you don't want to own anything else in your life. And he's out there with some very, bullish price targets on a 20-year view. If you look at Bitcoin today, it's 0.1% of the global assets across the globe. He sees that going from 0.1% to 3% or to 7% in his bull case. And if you kind of run the numbers on what that means for the price of Bitcoin, that gets you anywhere from $13 million a coin to $30 million a coin. I think more immediate term, though, is when does Bitcoin kind of overtake gold, right? I think Bitcoin is increasingly being viewed as this store of value. It is a scarce asset. There's a predictable amount of Bitcoin that will ever be mined. We're not there yet. The last Bitcoin's going to be mined in about 100 years from now. But the amount that's getting printed each year is declining. And now you're on the precipice of more corporates buying, nations buying. There's been a lot of commentary about maybe the U.S. considering adding Bitcoin to the strategic treasury reserve. And that certainly adds a bunch of pent up demand.
I'm putting all my chips on it. So let me know you guys' thoughts about this. What's your thoughts on MicroStrategy, and what's your thoughts on Michael Saylor? The way I see it is this man is selling, all sales up, all money in. Let's go.
And for Bitcoin, and something where it's a scarce asset.
It's interesting. And just remind us, Bitcoin, the rules are there can only be 21 million Bitcoin coins in circulation ever.
Correct. 21 million. Today we're, just over 19 million.
But it will get harder and harder to add coins to the supply, won't it, as time passes?
Yeah. Every 4 years, Bitcoin halves. So the rewards per block, and each block is about 10 minutes. Fell.
You cannot add coins to Bitcoin. That's what make it scarcity. You cannot add any more to the supply. Once it's out, it is out, and that's when the value shock start happening. And to me, that's what we're actually facing right now. A lot of people not talking about the value shock, but that's what we're actually facing right now at this moment. So that That will be the thing. Stay quiet. I'm on the thing. Right.
From 6.25 to 3.125 last April, and another 3.5 years they will get cut in half again, which means that the net amount of Bitcoin being mined, or the new supply of Bitcoin, is getting cut in half. So all else equal, if demand stay the same, there's going to be more demand than there is supply. Now you add to that the factors of I would say institutions increasingly adopting Bitcoin, at least on the institutional investor side. The last couple of years, the big, I would say, headwind for digital assets in general has been the lack of clarity on the regulatory front, and why Bitcoin has surged quite a lot since Trump won, 4 or 6 days ago at this point. He wants there to be clarity.
The reason why it's surging as well, another thing I must say, is that regulations, right? See, Bitcoin and all these cryptocurrencies was actually getting deregulated based on the current laws. But you got a new president in town. He's actually for Bitcoin because he's actually a business and an entrepreneur. So it actually makes sense for creativity to come back to the United States of America. It actually makes sense for blockchain, which a lot of nations around the world are already 1,000 steps ahead of us, right? But we will catch up and surpass them as well if the law continues to be in our favor.
He wants, to have a clearly defined jurisdiction on how these things are being regulated. The companies themselves haven't been asking for this. They just want to know the rules of the road. So having that clarity, and I think a party that wants to give them that clarity, is a big win for the digital asset space.
Also, guess who owns who's on the board of one of the cryptos? Elon Musk actually is on the board of Doge. So what does that tell you? What does that tell you? He's obviously betted on the right team. He literally betted on the right team. So let's stop sharing this one and let's go. I wanted you guys to go to, it's another screen I wanted to share with you guys. We're just doing some educational. In fact, let's share this screen again. And then I believe we can go back to go to this one right here.
If you feel lost when it comes to...
Let that play out. What do you guys think about MicroStrategy and Michael Saylor? I think he's actually ingenious. He's seen things, he's seen something, and he actually took advantage of the thing that he saw. And a lot of people said he was crazy. They was in doubt. But that's how they first do. First, they laugh at you. First, they say this. First, they say that. And next thing you know, guess what? He's correct. Now they all want to say, well, how did you do this? How? Let's go.
An executive chairman at Microstrategy. He is joining us from the Cantor Crypto, Digital Assets, and AI Infrastructure Conference in Miami. Michael, it's great to have you on the show.
Yeah, thanks for hosting me, Morgan.
So I'm going to start right there. The torrid run we've seen in Bitcoin, is this all just anticipation about what a Trump administration is going to mean for it?
The red wave is probably the biggest thing that's happened in the past 4 years for Bitcoin. It's incredibly auspicious for Bitcoin and for the entire crypto industry. But we're also getting a lot of very constructive support from Wall Street. BlackRock has been a very, very strong voice articulating the Bitcoin value proposition. And of course, MicroStrategy on October 30th announced that we were going to raise $42 billion to buy Bitcoin. And that's the same as saying we're going to buy every Bitcoin mined for the next 3 years at $85,000 or more Bitcoin. So there's a lot of bullish things going on in the market right now.
And I do want to get to that audacious $42 billion fundraising plan of yours. But first, there's a lot of regulation and regulatory aspects that are in focus with the Trump administration coming into play. SEC chairman, for example, a lot of expectations that Gary Gensler is going to step aside. And I realize Bitcoin itself is governed as a commodity, unlike other cryptocurrencies. But when you're talking about the ETFs and when you're talking about the cryptocurrency exchanges and when you're talking about companies like yours, MicroStrategy, which is publicly traded, it is SEC. So how important is that appointment going to be? And who would you like to see at the helm?
Well, I think whoever chairs the SEC has probably the most pivotal role in the entire digital assets industry. I think this is incredibly bullish for digital assets. It's very good for the crypto industry. We're going to see a lot more pro-Bitcoin policies. We're going to see a digital assets framework. We're going to see an end to the war on crypto. We're going to see a lot of pro-Bitcoin, pro-business policies. And I think that clearly the SEC will be a big part of it. So it's above my pay grade to have an opinion on who it's going to be. But I think it's pretty clear the House, the Senate, the White House, they're all very pro-crypto. So I expect that we'll have a very supportive head of the SEC.
Michael, well as you've done buying Bitcoin, I'm not sure anything is really above your pay grade at this point, which leads you to the question, what do you think is the biggest threat to Bitcoin's price staying above 60K? What potentially causes another dive below 30K?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to 60K. It's not going to 30K. I think it's going to go up from here. I'm planning the 100K party.
And I believe in Michael Saylor. I believe exactly what he said. This is probably one of the cheapest that you can get Bitcoin right now. Y'all got to think about it. Most companies are buying it up. Elon has it on his balance sheet. BlackRock have it on their balance sheet. These are the people that run the actual realm. So when you think about it, MicroStrategy, he first invested $24 billion, right? Now he's actually doubling down on his investment so he can skyrocket, so he can be one of the #1 companies that actually holds Bitcoin on their balance sheet. That's a game changer right there. That's a hack. That is a cheat code. Let me repeat. That is a cheat code. You're using government money, which is leverage, something that's not really worth what it's printed on. And then you're buying an asset that's damn near gold, right? As far as in the digital realm, it equates to that and even more, because I believe that the market cap will flip gold. Like it would surpass gold, because anything digital beats physical. Think about it. It's infinite space. Anything digital to me beats physical, because you can't put but X amount of gold bricks in a safe. You can't put X amount of gold brick in the Federal Reserve. I don't believe there's any in the Federal Reserve, but I'm just saying, at a point, I begin to think, hey, whoever owns the most space, right, runs the world, because the world is full of space, right? And space meaning that distance between one thing to the next. So if you have something called a computer, something called blockchain, something called Bitcoin, which operates an infinite amount of space, right? Whoever owns that wins. Now, the thing about Bitcoin is that it is scarce. So you have X amount of time to get X amount of supply. So then you can run the realm. But let's continue, because I think Michael Saylor, he's selling with this one. Leave your comments down below. What's your thoughts on Michael Saylor? Was he a genius?
And I'm thinking it's probably going to be New Year's Eve at my house. So I would be surprised if we don't go through 100K in November or December.
So then what's the biggest threat to it going lower, even if it doesn't get that low?
I think the biggest uncertainty in the industry was November 5th. And
I think he's asking the wrong question. He's worrying about when he can buy in. Some people miss the boat. You're literally worried about when you can buy in. So if you're worried about when you can buy in, I don't think that's the right angle that you should be focused on. I really don't, not financial advice, but that's not the right angle you should be focused on, when you can buy in with this one. Because you just need to buy, not financial advice. You just need to buy. Once again, supply shock. It's going to run out, people. So if you own one and you hold it for X amount of years, that's $1 million. Easy. It could be worth more than that. 2, 3, 30, 40,000. $40 million. Like, who knows? Because it's people determine the price. Like, literally, it was $10, $15, 15 years ago. Now it's $80,000. New Year's, $100,000. Beyond that, 2030, if you read the global trend, $1 million. 2040, if you read that trend with technology coming in and robots and XYZ, more than $1 million. So pay attention to what's going on. That's, like I say, this is the greatest time to be alive to me. I don't know about
Would you have
you.
a blue wave? Would you have a red wave? Or would you have a split Congress? And would you have any dispute about the future of crypto assets and Bitcoin? I think that was settled by the people very decidedly on November 5th. And I don't really see any threats in the near-term horizon.
A strategic Bitcoin reserve, how likely is it that that is actually established? And why would that?
Likewise, I believe that the forces is on the side. I believe that the policies are on Bitcoin side and innovation and blockchain. I believe that Trump is on the side. I believe Elon is on the side. I believe that JFK will be on the side of this. I believe that the United States government and the regulations will be on this side. I think that this is the way to go. Hell, you don't have to have a house. Own Bitcoin. It will buy you plenty of homes. You got to think about it. Really think about switching your strategies. This is not financial advice, but the writing is on the wall. I've been following this for at least 10 years. The writing is on the wall. First, they reject it. Then they clown you about it. And then now they're accepting it. What's next? Explosion. Mass adoption. You can go in the store now and go buy your coffee, pizza, bread, send family money from all over the world in a fraction of a second. This is the greatest time to be alive. Let's continue.
Be a good thing when you're talking about a decentralized asset now being stockpiled by a centralized government?
Well, that's being sponsored by Senator Lummis from Wyoming, and she understands the value of the frontier. The United States was built by purchasing Manhattan. Then we purchased the Louisiana Territory. Then we purchased California and acquired Texas. And then we bought Alaska. The next great frontier is cyberspace. And the obvious thing to do is to own cyberspace, buy the future. And so I think it's a great idea. I think it will happen. And I think it's important to the.
That is an excellent choice. And look at it. If you guys don't want to, say for instance, you want to be on the stock market, right? They have something called Microstrategy. Do you guys see the ticker symbol? It's right over here. The ticker symbol is right over here. MSTR. MSTR is the ticker symbol. It's currently at it went up 418%. Now, if it went up this amount, right, and they saying it's going to go to 100,000 by December, November. Well, he get in office in January, right? It go to 100,000. Even if it take a little longer than that, it doesn't matter. It goes up to 100,000, right? Well, what do you guys think? This stock would damn near double. So I know what I'm gonna be doing. Not financial advice, but I'll be putting an option play on this, and I actually will be buying this stock as well. I'm also gonna be opening up a new company, so I can leverage the U.S. dollars. That's not worth a penny. Which, if Trump is in office, he's gonna make sure the U.S. dollar is strong again. So let's not say this is not worth a penny, right? Because we're on the trajectory of it being worth. It's still a global reserve, no matter if we like it or not. But you have other forces that's happening. But people like Russia said the other day, they plan on actually holding the U.S. dollars on their balance sheet because Trump's in office. They understand when he's in town, the money goes up. It does not go down. Let me repeat. When he in town, your money go up. It does not go down. So leave your thoughts down below. What do you think about that?
United States, because it cements the United States' control over the future world reserve capital network. Senator Lummis's bill will offset $16 trillion of our debt, according to my models right now. So I think it's economically wise, it's technically wise. And again, Bitcoin is manifest destiny for the United States.
That was well said. It's destiny for the United States. Let me know what you guys thought about that one. Let me know what you guys thought about this one. Just a quick update and a quick review on Saylor. Once again, this is an educational platform, so I want you guys to get familiar with it. Blue Chip Crypto 3. Blue Chip Crypto 3. And as far as crypto goes, Bitcoin is one of the blue chips to me. Bitcoin is one of the blue chips to me. Leave your thoughts down below. I really want to know what you thought about this one. Let me know what's in your wallet. Let me know you have more than US dollars in your wallet. And like I say, I have a couple of top picks. I'm gonna do a spreadsheet and let you guys know about what's my blue chip crypto and the value. And I want you guys to do your homework. Don't believe me. Go do your research and read the white paper because it's right out there. And I've been reading this. I've been on this for about 10 years. So it's time for the world to know. So on that note, I appreciate you guys for coming on in today. I wanted to give you guys an update on Michael Saylor. He's doubling down. He already said that Bitcoin will be at what? About 100K by the end of the year. We already in November. It's already hit 90K. So any day now. Can somebody say any day now? On that note, peace, blessings, and love. On that note,